What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television. Thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting. Hope that today is the day we earn your subscription. If so, you hit that red subscribe bar down below. It really does help the channel grow and be shown to other people more and they're recommended and stuff. Today we're going to be doing a movie review, and I'm up in the air still if I'm going to put this in the retro blast or not. I very well may. Because even though I've not heard, I didn't watch this movie up until recently, and I don't really remember people talking too much about this movie. In my little bit of research of this movie after I watched it, I discovered that to some, this is a cult classic. That's the only reason why I'm like, is considering putting it in that category. The movie today that we're going to be talking about is entitled Funhouse, coming out in 1981, directed by Tobe Hopper. I don't know if it's Toby or Tobe, Tobe Hopper. Hooper. Hooper? Hooper. He directed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So his pedigree already coming into this movie is that he has an established hit under his belt as far as, bringing a horror character to life. That character is based on some Leatherface, some real life stuff going on, like Edward Gein. But the cast is Elizabeth Burridge. Sorry, I'm alive today. I know how to think. Sean Carson as Joey Harper, her younger brother. Cooper Huckabee as Buzz. Largo Woodruff as Liz. Miles Chapin as Richie. Wayne Doba plays the monster. And Kevin Conway, classic actor. Not the voice of Batman. That Kevin Conway. This Kevin Conway was an actor from back in the day. He played 3 different parts, all kind of those carnival circus hype men. Hurry, 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 step right up and kiss the big fat baby. You know, those guys, right? So basically, this movie has some interesting things on it that I wasn't the only one that picked up on it. The person I was watching it with kind of seems to think that some of these things are a little odd. Well, obviously, it's a horror movie. It's supposed to be odd and off-putting, right? Especially this movie. We open up with Amy, okay, the main character of this movie, so to speak. And we open up with her doing the obligatory shower scene in the horror movies from back in the 80s, and she's in the shower getting herself ready for her dates later on that evening. But we see someone rummaging through her room. She seems to be into bugs and mice and stuff. More power to you. And then the person going through her room seem to be pick up a knife, right? And he goes into the bathroom and he scares her, and it's really her kid brother Joey. And after he pranks her and he gets unmasked, he kind of just sits there and he's like looking at her, kind of like it wasn't until she literally had to push him out of the bathroom. I found that a little odd on his part. Listen, when I was 12 or 13, I was very curious. Okay, I will highly admit that with certain things, but not with first of all, I didn't have an older sister. I do have an older sister. I never met her. Long story. But I would not be doing that to, oh yeah, my naked sister in the shower. Anyway, so he runs off in her closet to hide. He takes a Polaroid of her. And she says she'll get him if it's the last thing she ever does as revenge. Anyway, she gets dressed, goes down, tells her dad and mom she's going out for the evening. Uh, she's telling him that they're going to the carnival. He doesn't want her to go to the carnival with the father because at the time they were out before, there was murder of two young girls, and he's not saying they're connected, but he wants her to be safe than sorry, right? So she convinces him that they're going to go to the movie theater, and that's a lie. Uh, the kid brother overhearing this is like, "Oh, she's lying or whatever. She's not. She's gonna go to the funhouse. Well, the funhouse to the carnival, right? Yeah, soon she might go to the funhouse. I don't know. It's only the name of the movie, Bart. However, so she does the convincing, and the kid brother watches her take off in the car that she got in for her date for the night, so to speak. They go pick up her friend and her date, and they go to the carnival. And they're having a fun old time. They're doing the rides, they're doing the lemonade, they're doing the fried dough, all the snacks, right? I guess carnivals were a little bit different back in the 80s because in one tent there was like a little burlesque show going on. And they decided to go behind the curtain, behind the tent, and cut a little hole to see all the sexy ladies dancing, right? And they're chuckling to themselves. There's even an old man pervert around the corner that gets mad when he gets startled or whatever from watching those girls be dancing and shaking their money makers. So, um, the one guy who's the date of Amy's friend, right? The date of Liz, decides, hey, why don't we, uh, why, like a truth or dare thing, why don't we stay here overnight and hide out in the funhouse, right? And so they convince the girls to do it. Liz and Amy call each other's parents. Well, they call their parents and they say they're staying at the other one's house, right? Standard teenagers and shenanigans. So, as fate would have it, they stayed and they were able to, like stay there and not have anyone notice that they stayed there. So they're up in this like part of one of the rides, right? And they're doing all the smoochy smoochy. Throughout the movie, they're smoking the marijuanas, they're smooching and trying to do the sex. And as horror movies taught teenagers in the 80s, anytime you do the sex or you do the marijuanas, your life isn't meant for much longer in this realm. Um, they come across, there's this character in this movie who's wearing this like Frankenstein mask. And he's just being a real weirdo. Even the other, like the characters that Kevin Conway is playing, the three different characters. He happens to be one of the characters is the father of this person wearing the Frankenstein mask, and they're all weird themselves because like every time that Amy's around, they get very enthralled with her. They become very like they can't contain themselves around her. You know what I mean? Like there's something. They become Edward Cullen around her. They just they smell her. You know what I mean? Um, so finally, we come across the scene where this person wearing um, the Frankenstein mask. He goes and sees one of the carny women there and pays her $100 to do the taxes. To do the taxes, man. And this man only lasted a minute. I'll give him a minute. This man lasted a minute before he became sizzling like fajita meat. And he gets all mad and he wants the money back and he strangles her. And that's where the shenanigans go because after he strangles her and he leaves, the friends try to leave, but they can't. But in the meantime of them trying to find a way out, the date of Liz here decides to steal the carnival money. And so when they decide to go back up to where they were at because he couldn't find a way out, the father and this monster with the Frankenstein mask comes back and they're going to figure out he gets mad at the son because we find out he's the one that killed the other locals from the town before and it's just not looking good, right? And so when they find out that the money's gone because he asked where he get the $100 and the money's missing, it goes wild, and then the kids, Liz's date decides to move, and something falls out, and that's where the chase begins, right? And slowly but surely, each friend gets taken out until it's mainly Liz. The revelation of what the monster looks like, holy crap! I'm gonna add a still in here somewhere. Terrifying, terrifying. We also find out that in the oddities tent, there's this baby in this like embalming fluid or whatever it is, and now it's his kid brother. There's a split in his face that makes him look like he has two faces. All right, two chains, and Amy, Sean. I mean, sorry, Joey, the kid brother, by the way, runs away from home and follows his sister. Almost get abducted by a pedo on the way to the carnival, and when he finally gets discovered out of there, and the parents have to be called to come get him. He remembers what the sister said because he knows she's in there, but decides not to say anything now because he's now remembering she's going to get revenge on him. So he doesn't say anything, and they go. She's seen them, but she couldn't get their attention. But she finally wins, right? She finally defeats the monster. Her friends are dead. Her date is dead. And that's where we leave off the movie. Her just then walking off of the carnival grounds. Now, none of these people really, outside of that Kevin Conway actor, really, I've really not come across any of the other work that was really impactful to that degree. This seemed to be very much early on in a lot of their careers, and I don't think there was much of an impact of what they did after this. If you like cheesy horror movies, if you like 80s horror movies, and if you've yet to come across this movie, I highly suggest it. I'm going to give this movie a 7. It's serviceable in the regard of, it's not going to be a technical masterpiece. It's not going to be a performative masterpiece, but it's going to, for the horror genre, fit what you're looking for. You're going to get those claustrophobic kills. You're going to get, are they coming? Is that them type of feeling to it? And again, it just fits into the 80s model of, a bunch of teenagers doing teenager things and they're getting punished for it. Yeah, it's just a fun popcorn horror movie. If you got nothing to do on a Saturday night with your date, pop this in, watch some Funhouse, and you'll have some fun for sure. But let me know down below if you've seen this movie. Are you interested in this movie? Or is this movie something that you not even is ever going to be on your radar? Let me know all of that down below. Don't forget how amazing and awesome you are all. I know how to talk, you know how to talk, because again, you're awesome and amazing. But until next time, peace, Snookums.